Ukraine. If you look at a globe, you may have trouble finding it, but the country located in Eastern Europe is where 44 million people live. Right now, U.S. officials say more than 100,000 Russian troops are on the border. The capital of Ukraine and the capital of Russia are separated by an 11-hour drive or so.
Tensions between Ukraine and Russia have been high for years, with Russia invading back in 2014. So why is Moscow so interested in the Eastern European country?
We're just seeing the Russians, and Putin in this case, trying to restore somewhat greater Russia.
Jim Townsend is the United States' former Deputy Secretary of Defense for Europe and NATO. He says you can't understand this crisis without first understanding history. During the Cold War, Russia was part of the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union consisted of much of Eastern Europe, including Ukraine. Townsend says its collapse in the 1990s has always upset Russian President Vladimir Putin.
And Putin, of course, was a creature of the Cold War. Putin laid this out in a speech this past summer, saying that there's really not a country of Ukraine. Ukraine is Russia.
Many Ukrainians, of course, disagree, which is why leaders there have increased their reliance on the United States and our military. U.S. equipment has been used for years. The Florida National Guard is even training Ukrainian troops right now. That upsets Moscow.
He doesn't want to see those forces too close to him. He likens this to the Cuban Missile Crisis. He says, how would you feel, United States, if we went back to Cuba?
A conflict, if it happens, could impact your life. U.S. troops could deploy and gas prices could go up since Russia produces so much of the world's energy. If you're wondering why now, Townsend says Russia may think conditions are right for them to get away with it. Germany's longtime leader Angela Merkel has just left office, and President Biden is struggling to convince the world he can heal America's divisions. In Washington, I'm Joe St. George.